So Caiera has officially dropped this week and has already started making a splash in Shuri, Scar, and Thanos Blob decks. But today we're here to explore her unique ability to protect our 1-drops in 4 Ka-Zar based lists to suit your playstyle. We're also going to go over the pros and cons of the deck, what each variant wants to accomplish, and ending it with some matches showcasing one of the decks. Now, what's so special about Caiera? In a nutshell, her protection helps our 1-drops from getting eaten by, well, let's face it, mostly Killmonger. But on top of that, it also helps us play safely on locations that would otherwise destroy our cards, which currently include Altar of Death, Danger Room, Death's Domain, Hala, Murder World, Rickety Bridge, Vormir, and Warrior Falls. So let's go over the core deck. Our main strategy here is to go wide, with the goal of filling all of our lanes by the end of the game and making sure that we have Ka-Zar and or Blue Marvel online to buff up our side. When piloting this deck, it's especially easy to fill up lanes quickly with Squirrel Girl and Shanna. So we want to try to avoid playing those cards early and instead focus on setting up our late game strategy. Since this deck type excels at filling lanes, however, locations like Mojo World, Nidavellir, The Raft, the Sacred Timeline, Xandar, and White Hot Room are ones to consider snapping on. Some less than ideal locations that definitely hurt us include the trio of Static Affliction locations and Jotunheim. Having a lot of low-cost cards means we're at an advantage when locations like Hell's Kitchen, Lake Hellas, Morgue, and the Big House appear, but also at a disadvantage when Hellfire Club or Crimson Cosmos appear. This is not to bog you down with all the variables, but instead to bring into focus the advantages and disadvantages this deck can provide, which can prove helpful in snapping or retreating when these locations show up. First, let's go over Nebula, who's arguably one of the strongest 1-drops in Marvel Snap. She's a set and forget card that forces our opponents to check her for half the game instead of focusing on their own game plan. They can also let her grow to absurd numbers instead, so it's a win-win for us. Echo is a personal favorite of mine, and she's incredibly helpful this season with the rise of Miss Marvel and Tribunal decks running rampant. She's definitely one you can substitute for other 1-drops when the meta inevitably shifts. Nico is best described as a Swiss Army knife that might not show up when you need her most. Now I know that sounds bad, but the silver lining is that we do take advantage of all her spells here, so that's less of an issue. Squirrel Girl and Shanna both work similarly here, adding 1-drops to help fill locations for Dazzler. They also help get cards into inaccessible locations like Death's Domain, Flooded, Luke's Bar, and Sanctum Sanctorum. The last 3 cards I'd like to highlight are the ones that are swapped in other variations of this deck, which are Jeff, Scarlet Witch, and Cosmo. Jeff helps us get into otherwise inaccessible locations, as well as being a good counter to Professor X. Scarlet Witch helps us get rid of locations that are harmful for us or beneficial for our opponent. She's also a great counter to decks that rely on a big turn 7 push with magic. And lastly, there's Cosmo, who helps us lock down a lane and potentially ruin decks that rely on their unrevealed cards to win games. Our second list aims to focus on locking down locations with Goose and Storm. If you don't have Jeff, Nightcrawler works well here too. Playing Storm early lets us counter bad locations, and we can always add cards afterwards with Squirrel Girl and Shanna. It also prevents our opponents from playing cards in another lane with the help of Goose, which is especially good in a deck that goes wide and therefore harder to compete with decks going tall. Our third list provides better buffing consistency with the addition of Patriot. Besides buffing our Squirrels and Demon from Nico, we also add in Misty Knight, who naturally gets a boost from Ka-Zar. The list rounds out with Wasp, who can help us fill a lane easier due to her 0 cost, on top of avoiding some of our worst locations, like Hellfire Club or Crimson Cosmos. Our final list gives this deck a control spin with the use of Ghosts to help us throw priority. Shadow King helps us reset any buffs on enemy cards or affliction given to ours, while Valkyrie all but guarantees we win the lane when she equalizes all stats and our ongoing buffs swings the game in our favor. The following matches will be using this list, as well as helping you with what to capitalize on and what to look out for. If I've helped you in any way so far, hitting the like button and subscribing goes a long way in helping the channel. Thank you and enjoy the matches. Obliviatex, what's going on? Okay, Vormir as our first location. We drew into Nebula, so we're just gonna plop that down. Okay, Kiln. Kiln's not too bad. Let's plop down Ghost here as well. Quantum Realm's another card that's not too bad. Not too bad at all for this deck. So now that we got Caiera on board, whenever we draw into another 1-drop, we can just go ahead and play it on Vormir, and it'll tank the hit. Okay, let's place Shanna here. That'll fill that middle location. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Good game. So, we were gonna fill the middle location, get another card on the left and on the right, unaffected by Vormir. As soon as we drew another 1-drop, then we could have played it there as well, without it dying. Blue Marvel was gonna come next. Yeah, this is the sort of case where now, so there's some games where all 3 locations are against you, and then there's some games where all 3 locations are in your favor. So this happened to be one of those games. Obliviatex saw where this was sort of going and said, nah, I'm out. And you know what? Good call. Good call. Zachary, what's going on? All right, Hell's Kitchen, one of the good locations for us. We'll always have a card there in the deck, ready to get drawn. Okay. Played Angel. So they might probably have a Killmonger, so hopefully we draw into our protection soon. I'm hesitant to really, you know, play a lot of the 1-drops early on, but we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. Okay. We're gonna play Dazzler here on the X Mansion to just make it easier to fill up, right? Let's see. Bucky Barnes, of course. Deathlock. Okay. Nakia. And Okoye, okay. That's thematic. So we join to Nico to transform a card into a demon. It's a good play for sure. After Squirrel Girl, all of our high cost cards are in the deck still. Funny enough. But let's put down Nico for sure. And Echo here on the right. Okay, Carnage. Oh, and I just noticed that we messed up. we did not want to transform Echo. Her ability could be pretty useful for us. And Shadow King is not going to be helpful in the left location to get rid of Carnage's boost, because then it'll get rid of our Nebulas. It all depends though. I mean, you know, if they... Okay. Valkyrie. They did not play Venom, so... Yeah, I'd say... Shanna is going to fill our middle and right locations, and Caiera's gonna protect them. Let's see. Killmonger. Right, because they have priority, so that's a no. Do we still win though? Let's see. Wow. We still win. Caiera came a turn too late. We still got Killmongered, but still ended up getting the win. You know, Shanna comes out, and how much does Shanna do by herself? I mean, yeah, Shanna could come up with some crazy plays. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, that's a 3-9 right there, and then turned into a 12 with Ka-Zar. So not bad, not bad. Zachary, good game. Erdom, what's up? Okay, turn 1 Mindscape. Hopefully we get into Nico and able to change that up. It's never fun. Okay, so the Raphid's a good one for us. We can try to get this filled up as fast as we can. I think that's what we're gonna do. All right, Gamma Lab. Let's play Caiera here. And lucky for us, even though Gamma Lab is getting rid of Nebula, it'll still protect the Hulk that we get from it, so pretty nice bonus. Same with the monster from one of the other locations as well. Okay. That's okay. We're gonna Shanna here. Get a free 6 cost card. That's also gonna get protected. Oh, and then we got an Infinite. Oh, this is great. Did we get to... No. Okay. So unfortunately, our Nico is not going to be able to change that location. We're going to give him the Infinite, but they won't be able to play it because pretty sure they're going to try to play a card this turn. But yeah, let's go Demon Ka-Zar. Go Demon Ka-Zar. Shang-Chi. Okay. Alright. Guessing they're still new to the whole Caiera business. Look at that. Wow. No, that's a hand. Okay. Yeah, in retrospect, I should have probably swapped Dracula and Echo. They most likely want to try to... Or not. Okay. Let's see what they come up with. Ghost Rider into Magneto. Okay. Still winning this. Okay. Awesome. Victory. Yeah, they pretty much gave up the perfect turn 6 play there. But yeah. That's Mindscape. You could have it bad, but they could have it worse. Either way, Erdom, good game.